This next person coming to the stage, she is a comedian. She is in Cleveland. She performs all over the place. And when I asked, how do you pronounce your last name? She said, just remember, Amber made you a bunch of cookies. So here she is. Amber made you, everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amber Maeda. Hi. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to tell you about my first kiss. Is that okay? It's all about consent. All right. Yes. All right. As far as high school tropes go, I was the good church girl, which made the line of gentlemen callers non-existent. My best friend Ellie, on the other hand, well, we were quite the opposites. We were 16, juniors in high school, and she was my first bad girl friend. She had smoked weed, she had drank alcohol, snuck out, and kissed boys. Wow. I know. Ellie had done all the things that I wanted to do, things that I considered the real high school experience. She had just lost her virginity to a 19-year-old boy, which understandably made me feel left behind, not even having kissed a boy at that time. And boy, was I desperate for a first kiss, guys. It was so important to me that I didn't even care about the person. For me, I just wanted the experience. The good friend that she was, Allie wanted to help me get my first kiss. And no, this is not my coming out story. That was Emily, my senior year of high school. She had planned to hang out, promising that her 19-year-old beau could set me up with one of his older friends, and I would finally get my first kiss. There was one stipulation. I would have to lie and say that I was 18 when I was actually 16. Yes. I had a few conditions of my own, my body, my rules. So I did not want to be peer pressured into drinking. I did not want to be pressured into doing anything at all. And 3, I wanted to be able to leave whenever I wanted to. Simple, right? Okay. Well, the hangout's about to happen, and Ellie and I pull a Mary, Kate, and Ashley and tell our parents we're sleeping at the other girl's house. When in reality, we headed to the 19-year-old's parents' house while they were out of town. You may be wondering why I keep calling him the 19-year-old. I don't remember his name. And the guy that he brought for me was a 21-year-old professional wakeboarder with his last name tattooed along his ribs. Very classy. Very classy. Again, I am the 16-year-old goody two-shoes who gets straight A's and sings at church every Sunday. So this was going to go great. We settle into the living room on the pull-out couch, red flag. And the guys try to loosen us up with a drinking game. Remember how I didn't want to be peer pressured into drinking? Yeah, so that was my first drink that night, Jack and Coke. Just easygoing stuff. The drinking game led into Truth or Dare, where I was pressured into running around the house naked. Yes, fully naked. And I was dared to kiss my betrothed. Now, some of my hair was in my mouth and while I was running around. And I was still completely naked, save for the small couch pillow that was just covering just my little bits, just right there. And we were still on this random kid's parents' pull-out couch. And I had my first kiss. Oh, thank you. I know. The moment I had finally waited for, and my friend and her guy were just sitting there watching us. My friend's reaction was simply, ew. She ends up getting sick, so her guy takes her upstairs, and he's holding her hair back in the way that she wasn't expecting. And she's my ride, which means I'm stuck there for the night on the pull-out couch with the 21-year-old who thinks I'm 18. Remember that the whole night was a whole ploy for me to lose my mouth-to-mouth virginity, my first kiss, guys. And he's trying to have sex with me. And when I deny him, he's coaxing me, saying, "I'd do stuff to you and you don't have to return the favor." Like, I don't even know what that means at this point. But we continue kissing, and I have to practice, I gotta get better. I need to be better than you, is what I'm trying to say. And there's a willing participant who's willing to show me the ropes. All the ropes. So many ropes. So many ropes that I don't even know if I'm ready to knot. You know what I mean? Okay. After what feels like hours of making out, I finally let him do stuff to me. There was consent, whether or not the law would agree. And of course, after that, he's trying to get me to return the favor, which would have been quite the addition to firsts that night. But I tell him I'm tired and I'm just gonna go to sleep. The TV's on, it's 5 a.m. I roll over away from him and I watch Saved by the Bell. I think to myself, maybe I can get him to backtrack and just go back to kissing again. So I turn over, and that's when I realize he's taking care of himself. Yes. I'm scared because I don't even know what that's all about. And I definitely don't want to be a part of it. So I just roll over and continue watching Saved by the Bell. And I was truly saved by the Bell, guys. Thank you. And when my friend emerges from her hangover hell, we finally get to leave mine. I never saw this guy again. And I don't want you to feel bad for me, because I don't feel bad for myself. I wanted an experience, and boy, did I get one. As a good girl and an aspiring writer at the time, this was one of the first times I realized I had to put myself out there in order to get the experience of life. This is my favorite quote. "In order to achieve something you have never had before, you must be willing to do something you have never done before." So it might maybe take that away as a moral, but the really only closer I have is that this whole experience prepared me to work with monsters. I started stand-up comedy 10 months ago, and I've been asked to open for a touring comedian, Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell. Thank you.